So today, what we want to do is first and foremost, we have to install the Python programming language, and that is the interpreter. And then we will also install the IDE that we use to communicate with the Python platform. So that is basically what we are going to do today. So you can follow me in this process of installation and see how I'm going to install the Python, and then make it operational for you to use. So the first thing you do is you come to your browser and you type download Python. Download Python. So I can just go to the site. Let's see what is going to appear. So you go to the Python site, which is this one. Then you click on download Python. Okay, so this is the site where you are going to see it. Then download Python. Okay, this is the latest version, 3.12. Then you can see other version. Let me take 3.11. Let me take 3.11. So let me download this one. You can download the latest version if you want, but I just want to downgrade because of my system. So now let me download the 3.11. And I'm going to download for Windows installer 64-bit because that is my system. So I'm going to download this. So it's downloading as you can see here. So it has finished downloading. Now let me also download the IDE, which is PyCharm. Download PyCharm by JetBrains. Let me download the community edition. Okay. So for Windows, so I'll download from Windows. So it's also downloading. So let it finish. So right now I'm downloading the IDE, the Python itself, which I've downloaded, the Python interpreter that I'm going to install. Then I'm downloading the IDE that I will use to communicate with the Python language. So after this download is completed, then we are going to do the installation so that you see how it will be installed. Then if you can follow me, you can also follow through this process and download it on your laptop or on your system so that you can practice along as we continue with the training. That is the process we're about to do now. So while that is downloading, you can go ahead and install this the Python. So let me just click here. Now, this is the Python installation that I want to install now. So install Python 3.11 64-bit because my system is 64-bit. Then use admin privileges when installing Python, adding Python executive to pass. So I just click on this and then I'm going to do custom install. So I'm going to customize it. Now I'll download, install documentation, install Python documentation, PIP, install PIP, which can download and install other Python packages. So you can use this PIP on your command prompt to install other packages. So we are going to leave all these as it is, and then we'll click on next. So precompile standard library, download debugging symbols, install Python for all users. So I'm just going to click this. And so I'm just going to leave that part like that and then click on install. Okay, so the installation has started. The PyCharm is still downloading. All right, so this PyCharm has finished downloading. So let's see the installation process for the Python. It will take a while, so you just have to be patient. Okay, so we have successfully installed the Python. Setup was successful. So close the Python. Just to double check if we have successfully installed it, you can open your command prompt in your Windows by just pressing the window R, and this command will appear. Or if it doesn't appear, then you can type it in CMD. Then you click OK. So when you are here, you can now type Python, then version. So you press enter. So it's showing us, that means we have successfully installed it, which is Python 3.11.6. Then you can now type the Python prompt. So now we are in. So our Python is already installed. We can now start writing our code from here. We can even use it to do our calculation if we want. So this is the Python prompt that is showing you. So I can just say 3 plus 5 and it will give me the answer. So you see, it's already telling me that it's 8. So Python has been successfully installed. Then we also install the PIP. We can be used to install other Python libraries. So just to check that PIP installation, if it was successful too, PIP, then you press enter. Sorry, you will come out of this and then type exit, calling the exit function, and then out. So you can type PIP and then you press enter. So the PIP has been successfully installed too, just like the Python language. Now we can either use this to write our code, write our program, or we use the IDE, because as you can see, this is using the platform, the command prompt platform directly. It will not show you when you are making errors in your typing. For example, if I want to type, if I go back into Python, so I am back in now, I can say, I can call the Python function print and then type my first Python program. I can say hello world. Then I close this. So once I press enter, so you see it is telling me print hello world. So it's showing me, oh, so that was, I didn't put the D, but you can see it printed it out. So Python is fully installed and it is working very well. I don't want to use this platform for my lecture, so I'm going to install the IDE, which is the PyCharm that we have downloaded. So let's go ahead and install the IDE. So I'm going to exit this again by calling the exit function or the quit function. Calling the quit function. So I'm out, then exit my CMD from my operating system. So that is out. So let's install the PyCharm. Allow it to install. So next, now where is it going to install this? See, program files, JetBrain, PyCharm. So this is the part in which it's going to create. Space require 1.4 gig, and I have space available 58 gig. So that is good. So I click on next. Create desktop shortcut. Yes, I'm going to create that. Add launcher direct to path. No. Choose Python version. Okay, it's already picking this. Then create association, which is .py. All right, so I'm just going to click on next. JetBrain install. Okay, so the installation is ongoing. So this is the IDE. Just like, when we did SQL, we had the SQL developer, which I was using to communicate with the DBMS and then communicating with the database. So this is something like that. We are having the IDE, integrated development environment, which I'm going to use to write my code. I could either use that command prompt to write my code, or I can use this, but this is what I want to use for the training. There are other IDEs you can install, like Visual Studio Code. You can install Visual Studio Code apart from this PyCharm, and there are many other IDEs that you can also use to integrated development environment. But what I want to use for my lecture is this PyCharm, and I'm installing the community version. The other one, you have to purchase it. You can only have 30 days trial period. So I'm installing the community version, which is actually like the free version. So it is installing. So what I'm installing now is like a door. The first and foremost, I've installed the Python program, which is the world of Python. I've installed it. Now I need to gain access into that world. So the door I'm going to use to be able to access that world, the pathway I'm going to use is what I'm installing, which is the IDE, Integrated Development Environment. So once I launch this IDE, I'll be able to write my code on this IDE and pull in the data. So access into the Python world is what I'm installing right now. So that is what this is all about. You can use other parts to come in. It's just like saying you want to go into the internet. You can either use Google Chrome, or you can use Firefox, other browsers that you can use to access the internet. So I want to access the Python world. This is the door I'm going to use. So that is what I'm installing. Okay, so it's done. Now I'm going to run it and then link it. Right now it's standalone. So I'm going to run it and link it to my Python interpreter. So run PyCharm, finish. So it's going to run. Okay, so just agree with this. I confirm I receive. So click on accept and then continue. I don't want to send. So this is PyCharm Edu. So I'm going to use it for training. All right, so PyCharm has been installed. Now I'm going to do, since we are just starting, I'm going to say new project. Now it's giving us the path location. This is where it's installed. Are you going to use this new environment using virtual? No, I don't want to use virtual. I want to use previously configured interpreter because I've already installed my Python interpreter. So I'm going to pick this one. Then I'm going to browse. So I will click. Nothing is there. So add interpreter, add local interpreter. So it's showing me this virtual environment. So this is the path for it, base interpreter. This is where my interpreter has been installed. So I'm just going to click the OK button. And now location is showing me this pattern. So it's creating the virtual environment. Okay, so that is done. It has given me this previously configured interpreter and it has given me this part. Create a main.py welcome script. Python extension is .py, Python extension. So it's going to create the first program, which is main.py welcome script, and I want it to do that. So I'll just click on create. So it's loading. Okay. All right, so this is the main.py that it has created. So you can see that my PyCharm has been installed. This is the part where it is located. So if I want to create a new project, I can just come here and say new and then file. So I'm just going to give my file a name. So since being the first, so I'm just going to say first.py. So that is Python. Then I'll say, I'll just type enter. So this is it. This is the main one that was there. And then this is the first one that I've created. Now I want to create the same print hello world that I did under that command prompt. So I'll just call the print function. So this is print function. Then I'll put in bracket, I'll type this. Hello world. Okay, is indexing. So let me finish the indexing then to give me where I'm going to click the executable button. The execute button will be here. So let me finish. It's still indexing. After the installation is indexing. So let me finish. So right now we have installed Python and then we have also installed the IDE, which is PyCharm, that we are going to use to interact with our Python platform, which is the Python world. So right now it's indexing. After the indexing, I'm going to now type my first Python script, which is print hello world. Now, so Python language is very straightforward. You just call a function and you supply your parameter to it, and then it's going to interpret that line for you as an output. So this is what we are going to look at. Now, what I just did today is the installation of the Python world and then installing the door through which I'm going to enter that world and carry out my activities in the world. That is what I've just done. I've just created my first program, which is first.py. Now I'm writing a program inside, which I'm going to execute for you to see the output. But right now, the IDE is still indexing. Let it finish. It will give me the execute button for me to execute it. So this is basically it. So if you have successfully done this installation by yourself, just tell me in the comment box that you have successfully done this installation. And if you have any challenge, you can write it down in the comment box so that I'll be able to assist in helping you to do the installation or guiding you to do the installation. So with this, we are good to go. Okay, so it's still doing the indexing. Now, if you don't like this screen that you are looking at, you can actually change it to a white background. So to achieve that, you come to File, and then you click on Setting, and then you click on this drop down this window 10 light, intelligent light, window 10 light. So let's pick this. All right, so you see, you can actually do that and then click OK. Okay, so this is better. I think this is how we should leave it so that we're able to see clearly. Now it's still indexing. Once you finish indexing, it will give us the execute button, which we will use to execute this script. And then you will see the output, which will be hello world. Okay, so now the indexing has finished. I'm just going to execute this print hello world, and then you see what the outcome will be by just clicking on this button. So that is the execute. So you can see it has printed the hello world for me. Now, this print is a function. That's why you have these parentheses. So you are calling a function and then you are giving parameters to that function. Whatever you put inside the parentheses is what that function is going to return. So the concept of the print function is for you to be able to project whatever it is that you supply to it onto your screen. And when I click on this execute button, it printed it out, hello world. So I can change this to so I can, once I execute this, that is what will come out here. So you see, I'm your lecturer for this Python class. So you are welcome to the beginning of the class. So I'm just going to execute that. So you see, you are welcome to the beginning of the class. So whatever it is that I put in these parentheses, that is what this print function is going to project on the screen for me. So that is the first thing that we have done. Now, we have successfully installed Python. Then we have successfully installed the IDE, which is the PyCharm, that is enabling us to communicate with the Python world. And then we just did an example of calling a print function and supplying with parameters for it to project on the screen for us. And that is what it has done. So this is it, successfully done. So if you couldn't do this, please put it in the comment box and I'll be able to connect and guide you through on how to be able to install it on your own laptop so that you can go along with me as we begin the lecture. Thank you very much. See you in the next class.